the obvious is we're disappointed we didn't get to play the game. Obviously, not blaming anything or anyone other than dealing with COVID, and obviously OU had some issues and had some positives, had some contact tracing, had some other injuries. I think that factored in, and they, obviously let the commissioner know they couldn't play. It was disappointing. We got the news on would have been our Thursday afternoon. We had already practiced. We didn't have any inkling that anything like this was coming. I got a call out of the blue. Hey, got bad news. Game's canceled. So that was the toughest part. If you had heard, hey, there's, this might be happening, it might have been a little bit easier, but the toughest part was just how all of a sudden abruptly a game gets canceled. So obviously you never want any game canceled. We only got a 6-game season. Now you got a 5-game season. And then obviously being OU in the Battle of the Bricks, it's certainly not the game you want canceled during the season. You got your big rivalry game, and you've beat them 2 years in a row, and you've got them at home this year. Which again, obviously you don't want to give up home games. It's one of your 3 home games this year. So now you're back to a lopsided road schedule again, which we dealt with a year ago and dealt with well, but it's not something you want to do year in, year out. So the negatives are the negatives. The positives for us is, like I say, like you have to have goals. You can't, if you don't have a goal right now in 2020, you just get bogged down with how much of the bad news 2020 brings your way. And so we just talked about the silver lining is we had a lot of guys out hurt for Buffalo, and then we're going to have some more out for OU, obviously, trying to get our troops, not only get guys back healthy to play, but also freshen up our troops. So we have this extra time. We're going to use it wisely to get our bodies and our minds rejuvenated for this last 3-game stretch drive. 2, we haven't played our best football in 2020, and our goal is we want to play our best football against Akron a week from Saturday. And, we're going to do that's our focus. We got, it's not, we didn't play OU or this or that or whatever. Our folks say we haven't played the way that we know we're capable of playing. We're going to do everything in our power to play the way we're capable of playing week from Saturday. And then 3, with this is the last week of classes and finals right around the corner, that we do, they've got a couple off days now this week, which they certainly wouldn't have had, to use that time wisely to either finish up that last paper, that last project, or just get ahead of studying for the finals. So set some goals on Monday, had to rethink things very quickly, but that's the big picture for us. Hey, we're going to play our best football week from Saturday. We're going to play to the top end that Miami's capable of playing. 2, we're going to be healthier, fresher, mentally, physically, and then 3, we're going to take this time academically and get really prepared for the stretch drive. And like I said, if you're a good student and you're trying to go from a B+ to an A- or an A- to an A+, or if you're a bad student, you're trying to get that D+ up to a C, it doesn't matter. You've got some time here that the cancellation has allowed you, and let's not pout about it. Let's not cry about it. Let's make sure this extra time we have, we use wisely. So we've had one quick good practice. We're going to have we had a good lift day. We're having an off day today, a recovery day today, and then we're going to have another good practice tomorrow. So we're going to use the time wisely to get back where we want to be.
Chuck, have you noticed any kind of a letdown or lack of focus with all of this time off, or how have your players reacted to this mentally that you've noticed so far?
Yes, it's been tough. I don't know about a letdown, just this constant frustration of it all. You know what I mean? When they're here and they're working, they're good, but just trying to get all the noise out of their heads and all this, that nothing's gone the way we've wanted it, since, last March, so it's just another brick on the load. And, you're excited to play OU. You're, less than 48 hours away from the game, and you get that call. So you understand the frustration, and it's hard for all of us to deal with. So we always say about, overcoming adversity, control you can control. In 2020 is, like we said, testing that to the max. So again, just taking each day, and hey, yesterday was lifting and meeting, and today's recovery and schoolwork, and just trying to take it one day at a time. And the other piece we talked about too Monday is, like, let's enjoy what we have. Like, it's harder than ever to enjoy what you have, but you should take a moment and say, like, let's enjoy this practice, because who knows? Who knows when that's going to go away. Like let's enjoy this meeting. Let's enjoy this lift. Let's enjoy this time together. We're not going to get this time again in 2021. Yeah, we're going to have opportunities to play, but it'll be a different team, different season. So we only have a few weeks left with this particular group, and let's enjoy every moment with this particular group. So yes, it's very hard, but that's what we keep trying to focus on.
With the extra week, Coach, you mentioned getting guys healthy. Any idea who you expect back for next week?
Davion, if things go well, there should be no doubt he plays. I hope to get Tommy back. That's not for sure, but certainly much more likely with this break than getting him back for OU. Defensively, I think there's a shot to get Earl back. Again, not for sure, but again, he wasn't going to play at OU for sure. He wouldn't get addressed. So I think there's an opportunity there. Trying to think, I think we'll get Bennett Clark back, but in some capacity, he's not going to be 100% for the rest of this year. So he's not going to be like full throttle starting, but he may be a guy that can chip it and play some. So, and then Brett, we're going to definitely have Brett back. Everything's, he was probably going to be able to tee it up against OU. So he should just be, even giving him more time to recover. So then we had a lot of other guys just that were, grinding through injuries that, we didn't even have to practice on Tuesday, that are some of our key guys that they should be really fresh from a week from now.
Coach, can you give us a preview of the Zips, what you're going to face next week?
Yes, definitely. We've watched a lot of tape on the Zips already. Start their offense is much improved. They've got a really good tailback, a transfer tailback who's a big, strong, and fast. And again, he had a monster game on Tuesday against Kent, where I think he had 4 touchdowns, maybe 3 or 4 touchdowns, and a lot of long runs. Really good inside runner, really tough to get on the ground. When he gets in the secondary, I haven't really seen a DB tackle him all year in the 3 games in the MAC. He is big and athletic, so you have got to try to keep him bottled up in the backfield. If you let him get on the back end, he's a very talented young man, which gives them another weapon. They've got a young quarterback who is a playmaker, a competitor. You love to watch him play already. Just how he competes, how he never gives up on a play. He's good in the pocket, getting rid of the ball quickly. He's got a quick release. They do tons of RPOs. He's also good scrambling. He will run it some and has hurt his opponents, but he's still, when he's more looking to throw it, he's done a good job of stepping up in the pocket and finding guys on the move in the pocket. He made a couple huge plays on 3rd down against Kent, stepping up in the pocket on the run, fires it. So he gives them a different element to their offense. Obviously he's very young. He's just a freshman, but he's made a bunch of plays already in the 3 games, and just, you can see his competitive spirit on the tape, just how he competes. And if you watch the game the other night, defensively, they obviously didn't play well on Tuesday, but they've definitely had some issues up front defensively with guys being out that are some of their better players. So we expect them to be stronger on defense. I don't know if they were out due to injury or due to COVID or what it was, but there's some guys that we're used to seeing playing that are really solid MAC guys that didn't play against Kent. So, undisclosed why they didn't play. So they've had some guys out on defense, and they obviously struggled against Kent State the other night to get some stops. So I'm sure they've played 3 different style of games on defense. They do 3 down, they do 4 down, they mix up their coverages. So I think they're still trying to find their footing. They're really good on defense a year ago. They lost a few good players, and then they've had some guys out this year. So I don't know what they're going to settle on, 3 down, 4 down, what types of coverages, because they've played the 3 games have been, they've done some different things. So we're going to have to be prepared for a lot of different looks.
Even though we've only played 3 games, Chuck, we were halfway through the MAC schedule. Have you seen anything in the conference that has surprised you to this point overall?
Not really. You knew the other half was going to be, a toss-up. That our half has kind of started to separate the way you would think it would. We thought Ball State was going to be good. They're 2-1. Western barely beat Toledo. They barely beat Central, so they got a jump on their side for sure because they got 2 really nice wins. Western had everybody back off a team that everyone thought was going to win the league a year ago, so no one's surprised. Central's still good. That's not a surprise. Ball State's playing good football. That's not a surprise. Obviously, us and Buffalo and OU and Kent were the 4 teams that everybody thought would battle it out. You know, and that's kind of the way it looked. Obviously, it's an abbreviated season, but so Kent scoring, everybody's scoring a bunch of points, just like always in the MAC. You know, so Kent scoring a bunch of points, and so it's kind of what you thought that I don't know, just everything feels a little different. The tempo's different. I really thought our people did a good job at home creating they had some crowd noise piped in, which I thought was not too much, but enough that it made it feel more like, you know, you went to Buffalo and it was 0 fans and 0 noise. It was like a Saturday morning high school scrimmage. It really was. It was a weird that there's 0 sound. You know what I mean? And again, it's not anything you do about it, so it's everything's, but I think the teams are kind of what we thought they were going in. It's, you know, I think the West has separated itself. You know, we'll see Kent's 3-0, Buffalo's 3-0. Kent's schedule's been good so far. You know, they've had an opportunity to get off to a good start. So we'll see. They got a big one, I think, with Buffalo coming up, which will be a big one for the conference race.
Are there any guys on your own squad who, through a couple of weeks, have really impressed you or stood out?
Yeah, I think offensively, obviously, AJ, what he did and, you know, the 1+ game he's got to play has been a total standout for him and for the team. I think our young tight ends, you know, I think Mihalik and Cold Iron and even Seth Kearns have done some really nice things to contribute to us. Those would be the main guys on offense that I think have, you know, I think we have some young running backs coming, but Kevin Davis obviously has shown some stuff early in his career that he's an explosive athlete for us. Defensively, unfortunately, Kobe Hilton was playing really good against Ball State till he got hurt. He was coming in for Costin. But him and Collier inside have done some nice things along with Austin Ertl. So I think they battled. I think we have some good young players there. I don't think they're quite ready for the rigors of the MAC yet, but I think they've showed out better than I thought early in their first couple games as a couple of them as freshmen that haven't played before. So other than that, I think Ivan Pace is playing really well. Will Backer, he played backup Will and did a lot of pass rush last year. I think he's playing solid at Will as kind of a newcomer there. And then I think Dom Robinson has really showed out in his kind of bonus year. He's nice thing for him. He's going to get another year. We really think he's got a huge upside. So he's done some really nice things at D end, and he's played 2 games of his life at D end. So he showed out pretty good.
How about your special teams? I mean, they've been outstanding so far.
Yeah, good point for sure. Obviously, Beatty and Newton have handled the long snapping duties and stepped in for Crabtree and done a good job. And then, obviously, you know, Dom with the punting was MAC Player of the Week last week, and he's punted 2 weeks in a row very well. Done a decent job on the kickoffs as well. And then obviously Beckett has done a solid job with the place kicking so far. So yeah, that's a good point, Mark, that they've done very well. Our coverage units have been really good. We've covered the punts, we've covered the kickoffs extremely well. We haven't covered many kickoffs here in years, so we kind of talked about it like we're gonna have to get back to being a kickoff coverage team, and our kids have really done a good job. And some of our best players on there, Ivan Pace and Dom Robinson and Luke Bolden and you know, Manny Ragumba running down, tackling guys on punts. So we've got our best players stepping up, but our young specialists have certainly gotten off to a good start, and we hope that continues.